So in this video, I decided to go to a farmer's market. I thought for my next video idea, I would go ahead and buy ingredients from a farmer's market and buy ingredients from a regular grocery store and compare the two dishes that I made in terms of quality and price. So let's go ahead and get started. So right now we're at the farmer's market. So I was really surprised when I first came to the farmer's market because I didn't expect this type of stuff. Like when I imagined the farmer's market, I imagined just fruits and vegetables everywhere. And instead I got food trucks and coffee places and a lot more foods where they've like already made it and it's processed. And I just expected fruits and vegetables. So it was a new experience. And then when I was walking around, I found a little corner of the farmer's market where it was what I was just looking for. It was fruits and vegetables sold by local farmers. So the first item that I got was balsamic vinegar from a place called Pine Top Olive Oil, and I just want to say this is the best balsamic vinegar I've ever had, and I don't even really like balsamic vinegar, so if you guys ever go to the Gilbert Farmers Market, I highly suggest buying from him. Next, I decided to buy some red onions. I just bought one, and then I bought Swiss chard along with that. Next, I bought a pack of garlic cloves, and these were huge since they were elephant garlics. And here are the names of the farms that I bought items from. Unfortunately, I couldn't find every ingredient that I needed from the farmer's market, so I decided to go to Trader Joe's and buy goat cheese and lentils. Okay, so we have all of our ingredients right here, and now we're gonna head back home. Alright, so for this recipe, I'm going to show you all of the ingredients that I bought from the farmer's market. And unfortunately, I couldn't find everything I needed from the farmer's market, so I decided to go to Trader Joe's, which all of their foods are organic. The only problem is it's not local farmers you're getting it from. I think the thing that I love most about the farmer's market is that they're not always going to be packaged in plastic. They'll give out these bags instead of plastic bags. But sometimes, you know, if they want to group up things together, they will put it together like this, or they'll use a band. So a lot of this stuff has rubber bands. But for the most part, they encourage you to bring their own bags, or they'll provide bags like this. So it's definitely environmentally friendly, which I really appreciate. So finding what you need really depends on the farmer's market that you're going to. I went to the Gilbert Farmers Market, and it may not be like a huge one, but I did end up finding most of the ingredients I needed besides the lentils and the goat cheese. So for this recipe, you'll need 4 beets, 4 cups of Swiss chard, half a red onion, 3 garlic cloves, 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1/4 cup goat cheese crumbles, 2 cups of lentils. Then you'll need salt and pepper for seasoning. Now let's get started. So first you're gonna have to deal with the beets, and what you're gonna do is you're going to cut off this long stem end and then cut off this little root area. These are what your beets should look like after they're cut. Now I'm gonna go ahead and rinse off all the dirt from these beets, and then we're gonna use a potato peeler and peel them. Alright, once you've peeled your beets, you're gonna go ahead and cut it into 1/2-inch wedges. Alright, here are the beets cut, and then you're going to drizzle all the beetroots with a little bit of olive oil. And you're gonna go ahead and let it cook for 30 minutes. Just for size comparison, this is the one that I got at Walmart, and this is the one that I got at the farmer's market. Alright, so I decided to just use 1 garlic clove. It's just gonna be too much using 3 garlic cloves, so I'll just be using 1 for this recipe. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your garlic clove and roughly chop it. Alright, here's the garlic roughly chopped, and you're just gonna go ahead and set it aside. Next, you're gonna go ahead and dice half of this onion. So I'm in the middle of dicing the onions. I'm having a hard time seeing because I'm just crying a lot right now. You want it into a small tiny piece like this. And when every single piece is like that, that means it's diced. All right, so here's the onion and it's about roughly diced. All right, now for the Swiss chard. I'm gonna go ahead and take off the rubber bands from this. All right, after you wash your Swiss chard, you're gonna go ahead and cut along the stem. You're gonna go ahead and set this aside. I'm pretty sure you could still use this for cooking, so if you wanna go ahead and save it, you can, but for now, I'm just going to set it aside in here. So what I'm doing with the leaf is I am just ripping it apart, and that's basically all you need to do. All right, so once you have chopped up all of your chard leaves, you're gonna go ahead and tightly pack it into 1 cup. See, this is about tightly packed, so I'm gonna go ahead and consider this 1 cup, and you'll need 4 of them. All right, so I cut up 4 cups of chards, and it took about 8 chard leaves for it to fill up to 4 cups. All right, while your beetroots are cooking, you're gonna go ahead and add 3/4 cup of lentils inside a small bowl. You're going to fill the small cooking pot to about 3 inches of water, and then you're going to add a pinch of salt. Go ahead and put the heat to high and bring it to a boil. Once it's reached to a boil, you're gonna go ahead and lower down the heat and let it simmer for 30 minutes. Now, in a large skillet or pan, you're gonna pour 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Then go ahead and set it to medium-high heat. Now you're going to add your onions and saute it for 3 to 4 minutes. So once the onions are sauteed, you're gonna go ahead and lower the heat to medium and add your garlic. And then you're going to cook the garlic for about 2 minutes. After 2 minutes have passed by and your food starts to become fragrant, you're gonna go ahead and lower the heat to medium-low, and you're going to slightly wilt your chards. I ended up having to switch to an even larger pan because the other one was starting to get really full, but here are the chards and I am slightly wilting them. All right, so now your lentils should be done, so you're gonna go ahead and drain the water and add it into the large pan. And so you're going to add the lentils. And this is where you add in the salt and pepper. After 30 minutes has passed, your beets should be cooked and it should look something like this. Now it's time to add the beets. All right, now you're gonna go ahead and add 1 to 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. Now I'm just folding it in so all the balsamic vinegar would spread. You'll let the vinegar cook for about 2 minutes so it can get rid of the acidic taste. And lastly, you're going to add goat cheese crumbles. All right, so now your dish is done and it's ready to be served. All right, now it's time to try it. It tastes really different, but honestly, it's not that bad. I think it's pretty good. All right, so we're at Walmart right now. All right, so I made the regular grocery store version of the warm lentils with beets and goat cheese, and we're about to try it. So I'm gonna be honest, I think I probably overcooked the farmer's market one the first time I made it. So it might taste a little bit better since it's less burnt. I like this one better. I think it's because I didn't cook it for too long. But yeah, I actually really enjoy this one. Although I don't really see any difference in taste between the two. I guess when I cooked it the first time, it was a lot more bland because I overcooked it and all the taste just kind of mixed together. But this one I can kind of differentiate each vegetable. Alright, so that was my video. I hope you guys enjoyed and see you next time. Bye!